Hi there, so Wessex Blades, and join me again. Update with production for people to see where things are and who's in this particular batch and what's happening. We've got, I think the first one I'll do is for Stephen. Done the sheath, done your high grind yeoman in antler black liners, and because of the patient weight, I've done this as a bonfus. So the extra little bit of ferrule I had at the end, I thought I'd make a little ferrule rod, and that it'll have an elasticated sort of lanyard thing with a golf ball on the end. And you can wear it like that or like this, whatever way round you want to wear it. Just a little bonus there to say thanks for your patience. There is also an additional yeoman with a standard wood carving bevel, which is this one here, and again an antler, and that's the sheath of that one, all ready to go. That's there. We've got Tim's I've made a start on, but you may have caught the Instagram post about one of the yeomans that ended up in America, USPS in New York. Managed to fiddle around with it to such an extent and then ram the blade back into the sheath, and they had the blade up like this as it went in, so it's sliced. I imagine a sort of a 70-degree angle, a great slice out of the thing. So I'm making that sheath again, dependent on what I'm doing. I don't know whether I'm going to get any compensation for it, but I did go international, tracked and signed with a £250 cover. So that at the moment is in the realm of post office, and then I don't know how it's going to work with USPS, but it was at their depot. They opened the package, they stuffed it up. So I remember a time, I can't remember who it was, but it was obvious that someone had opened the packet and had literally run the knife across a metal bench or against some chair legs or something, and it was just smashed to hell. Just mindless. So anyway, that's an additional thing that I'm doing. I'm making this guy's sheath again, so I'm going to work that in with doing Tim's, which is there, and there's his blade, which is a Leku in spalted black liner. Yes. Close-ups in a few days of those, because I want to clean up the blades and everything. We're doing Brian's 2 West keys. There's a pair there in olive G10. What I did was, because of the size of the stock of how it was made, there's an additional one available. If anybody's interested in a G10 ferrule rod, that's available now. So go here on it. The next one after I do Tim's and the replacement yeoman sheath for a chap I think is in Florida, I'm going to be doing a sheath with this Boudica, and there's a Hernlaw. Now this one is part of the batch I did with the Cubitrons, so this will be available, I'm hoping as soon, well, a week and a half, 2 weeks. This Hernlaw, which is a camp blade, quite a high grind. It'll have a micro bevel on the edge, obviously clean it up, but that'll be available, and that's in my London plane that I section in home. Okay, so that's going to be available as is. I'm going to move this one on. It's an X-Display. It was a carbon steel, one of the first Merlin blanks I had, and I never actually got around to making this as a current model. This is basically I called it a Pixie, but it's quite an old one. I've got the spine to clear up, I say this is like really early on in Wessex blades, so that's going to have a little necker sort of leather sheath, but it's just a chance to pick something up that's like beyond Jurassic. We're talking Ordovician here in this one for Wessex blades. Yeah, so I'll go in a little bit closer with this. I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 years ago I started making ideas for the ferro rod leather things, and all of a sudden they just took off. Loads of other makers started doing the same sort of thing. I just sort of backed off because it just ended up as, well, everybody's doing the same style, the same thing. I just went, it's not really going to stand out as something that's inherently Wessex blades in terms of its look or its actual performance, you know, with how it's getting used. So I sort of tinkered around with other little ideas. I just come up with this because of the way that the antler sort of teardrop shape. This is what I chose when I was picking antler out. So the handle profile is very teardrop. I just basically wrap this one around, but what I can also do is continue it around and back on itself, and I could end up with 2 sections there, which you could end up putting on like a spare ferro rod, actual blank. Just a different approach by using a wraparound, and I don't know how it'll work, but you know, there's also people start blowing, like to start fires off as well. They're little blowy tubes people are using. You still be able to light your tinder on it, but it's just something for Stephen, thanks for his patience. And it's a elasticated retention thing on it in a golf ball, so it not only can it hang like that, but it can hang like that because it's going to be wrapped around the end of the ferrule as it comes out the end. Yeah, so I just thought I'd give that to Stephen because he's been very patient and just let me build it in my own time. A bit of a close up on his. He wanted a deer artwork, so I've got a stag on there like that, and that's in belt carry. I didn't go for red, I wanted more natural, so I've got that sort of tan looking stitching on the back. I've got my W sign there, non-across thing, and with the, obviously because it was like that, everybody looks like you want to make it left-handed. I did the same. I did the tan stitching colour on that one. This one's still available. This is my sort of first attempt to do an antler, so it's it's sort of like a display one. So it's it went a little bit too far on the antler, so it's been really impregnated with epoxy to strengthen it all back up again, but that's available at a reduced amount, and that's on my website. Cracking sheath on it with a dangler. Alright, so that one's available on my website, so it's just a bit of a show and tell for those at the moment. Clean these up, but the ferro rods for, there's 3 customers with Brian in their name, so it's a bit of a juggle with the book. They're for a chap called Brian, I think he's California, that one. So they'll be away in the next couple of days. As I say, there's one there that's available. That blade is available, ready to go now. Coming through very soon will be this Hernal from London Plain, and this Pixie, whilst I make this one and Tim's, which is that one. Yes, lots on. Wants to make an additional sheath because customs officials can't handle the knife. Oh yeah, extra bonus. The one of the companies that seems to be very open to ideas for keeping things in stock is ground flat stock. They're actually stocking Cubitron 2s and Sia ceramic belts as well. Didn't have any in at the moment, but what I made a comment months ago was the G10 that we use for our handles. Here's an example of obviously what I bought at the Blade Show. When it only comes in 6.3 and the liner materials, you know, are half 1 or 2 mil or something thick, sometimes you may have a thin blade but need a thicker handle. Let's say you were doing an Ebang Parang sort of thing, or generally speaking the blades could be quite slim. So by the time you've put only 6mm of scales on, you're not really getting much girth to get your hand around, especially if you're a big guy like Roach or Rich Torn. You need something to get your hands around. So I made a mention that if you could stock 10mm G10 only in black or olive, you know, just black or olive, or just black, that'd be great, because it will give people the combination of, if they wanted it even bigger, by adding a 2mm liner, you could really pack it out if you need the extra width. You've got a lot to make up with, you've only got 6mm scales. So they've got it in stock now. I've bought 2 myself, but if anybody was after 10mm G10 in black, if you pop along to Ground Flat Stock, there's their logo, they've got it in right now, but make sure you get over £60 including VAT and 50 net, as it were, because you don't get a free postage, which is more handy for me than maybe BND, which free postage is like £90, which that to me is a lot of belts to use. The 2 cubies that I ordered, that'll really stretch through a lot of blades, so they've got free post on them if you go over 60. So thanks for joining again. Just got Wessex blades out, and I should be on the way to Stephen in the next couple of days. Thanks for running in.